Hey everyone, okay, today I'm going to talk about bodybuilding and building muscle on a plant-based and or vegan diet. First and foremost, I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't claim to be, and I don't claim to be the biggest guy. I also don't claim to be the thinnest guy. So with that said, I give a lot of credit to the bodybuilding community and anyone who's running or competing or doing anything like that, and give them a lot of respect because of the training and everything that they do and the hard work that they put in. Whether you agree with, what somebody looks like or what they're doing or not, they're passionate about it and it's important to them. I've gotten some questions as far as why are vegan guys skinnier. I've been on a plant-based diet for about 7 months now, and I can tell you what I think. Once I changed over to plant-based diet, I probably lost 15 pounds, 20 pounds. And for a guy, unless you're overweight and you're really trying to lose weight, guys don't usually want to lose weight. They want to either maintain weight or put on weight. I keep saying guy, I'm just kind of like basing it off of that, but it doesn't really matter. If you want to build muscle and get stronger as a girl, this is going to apply to all. When I started to lose weight and I was transitioning into a plant-based diet, I started to get thinner in my face, I started to get thinner in my arms and kind of legs, all over, stomach. And people were telling me, wow, gosh, like you've lost, some weight. I don't know if it was complimentary or if it was like, hey, you need to, eat more or something. The first thing we could talk about is sodium content. If you're on a high sodium or a higher sodium diet, you're gonna retain water. Your body needs to maintain a certain balance. So when you take in a bunch of sodium, when you bring in water, it holds that water because it needs to dilute. So you get to have a few pounds of water weight, and that will make you look puffier all over your whole body. And going to a plant-based diet, if you're really trying to be healthy, you're cutting out a lot of sodium. Next thing is, if you're on a plant-based diet and you're vegan, you're probably not going to be taking steroids. And I'm saying steroids because sometimes the guys that you see that are really ripped out and they're really huge and stuff and in the gym, they are on steroids. So don't always measure yourself up to, look at this dude, he's totally ripped and he's totally huge. Well, he might be on some steroids. You also have the factor of the natural growth hormones that are in animal products. So if you are eliminating that, you're now taking out those natural growth hormones from the animal-based products. So that's going to be less of a growth factor in terms of building muscle, okay? But it's a healthier way of living. Next thing too is you will probably start to lose some of the fat. So you have a lot of fat, if you have on your body and throughout your whole system, it's going to kind of put that thicker layer all over your muscle and everything, and it's going to make you look bigger and sort of heftier or heavier all over, but it's sort of kind of fat. The other thing too is you've probably seen or purchased different cuts of meat at the store. Okay, so you have a piece of beef. Sometimes it's really lean. Sometimes there's a lot of fat marbling in there. I don't know to the extent or not, but same sort of thing could happen in your muscles too. That might be the case also. There might be some fat marbling in there. So when you start to trim out and you start to lose fat on your body, you're going to start to lean out and thin out. So when you start to lean out, you're also going to see more definition. So a guy might have bigger arms or a bigger chest, but he might not be as well cut and defined. Next thing is, I'm not trying to be stereotypical in this at all, but a lot of plant-based people or lifestyle or whatever you want to say, they might be more into cycling, running, cardio, that kind of thing, rather than muscle building, bodybuilding. If you are doing, a lot of cardio and a lot of running or cycling or something, you're burning your fat way down. Another thing that bodybuilders or people building muscle might be using, it's a longer explanation of stuff, but basically, in a sense, creatine is kind of adding water into your muscles, and so that can give the effect of having larger muscles. Now, big thing is for building muscle and putting on more weight, you need to add more calories. If you figure out and you say, hey, I'm taking in 2,500 calories right now and I want to try to build muscle and try to put on weight, try to kick it up to 2,700. Now, I really don't want to talk about protein, to be honest, but since we're talking about building muscle, we're talking about bodybuilding, that kind of stuff, I guess I have to throw in protein. I'm just going to try and keep it real simple. The bodybuilding community is going to tell you that you're going to want to have 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, or even 1.5 grams of protein per body weight. And the plant-based, vegan, natural, healthy diet and different readings are going to say it's like a half or almost a quarter of that, saying that basically you should have 10% of your calories as your protein. So usually about like 56 grams for a guy. There's huge arguments on both sides. There's studies that show you're not going to have any significant difference building muscle by upping your protein. However, in the bodybuilding community, they are going to say that yes, you have to have 1 gram or 1.5 grams. There's a huge range back and forth, okay? That's going to be really up to you to decide on how much protein you're going to want to take in. You can also play around with different protein levels. And then the next thing also with that is people talk about amino acids. So there's 20-something amino acids. Different plant proteins have different levels of amino acids. And then people talk about complete proteins, and those are high amounts of all the amino acids. You don't have to get complete protein at every single meal. The different amino acids that your body brings in will sort itself out internally. What is recommended is that you get different sources of protein within a 24-hour period. So really building muscle and trying to build larger, stronger muscles is really going to come down to 3 things. You need adequate rest, and I mean rest as in sleeping, and I mean rest between your workout for different muscle groups, and nutrition, of course, and mainly I'm talking about calories, taking calories in, and then working out. In the bodybuilding community, you have 2 things. You have kind of what's called bulking and what's cutting. The difference between the 2 is that when you're bulking, you're basically taking in excess of calories to fuel your muscles and to build muscle. And then the cutting part is you drastically decrease your calories and you do more cardio, so you're trying to burn off that fat. So you're trying to build your muscle up and take in all the extra calories to fuel your muscle and recovery, and then when it's like a showtime for them, they're cutting all that excess water weight and cutting all the excess fat off while still trying to maintain that muscle. That's for like competitions. For you, you're going to want to sort of find a happy medium. For example, I'm just kind of in a maintenance, so I'm doing cardio because I want to stay leaned out, but I'm trying to maintain or add a little bit of muscle mass. If I wanted to get cut up a little bit more, and I could definitely be more leaned out and have a better stomach, I'd basically just take a little bit less calories, do a little bit more cardio, and I'd be super leaned out. But right now I'm trying to put on a little bit of the muscle and everything, but I don't want to take in too many calories and start adding on excess fat. Now, working out. 2 differences between working out to try to build muscle and look bigger compared to just being toned and fit. So I'm not being stereotypical with this, but let's just say a man and a woman, and they want 2 different things. A man wants to get bigger, he wants to get stronger, and he wants to get bigger muscles. What he needs to do is he needs to train with heavy weights, very heavy weights, usually low reps, and then 3 to 5 sets basically. And he needs to really strain his muscles and really work his muscles hard to basically to failure. The other thing too is tricking up your muscles. So if you keep doing the same routine all the time, your muscles are going to get used to it. So you need to trick them, do different exercises, and really work them hard. And basically you have to tell your muscles and tell your body, hey, you're not big enough, you're not strong enough, we're asking you and telling you, you need to grow bigger. So it's really intense focus and really straining that muscle. It's really spending time in the gym. You need to focus and be focused on why you're in there and really concentrating on the muscle group and the muscles that you're training. On the flip side, if you're just trying to be fit and toned and lean, it's going to be the opposite. You're going to do high reps with low weight and not strain your body out. And you can you want to switch up the routine a little bit, but it's not as important as tricking those muscles compared to, when you're trying to build mass. A lot of girls say, I don't want to do any weights at all because I don't want to get big. Well, you're not going to get big. Just keep the reps up higher and light weights. Lastly, if you guys want, in reference to me, I do weights, heavy weights, and then I also do cardio with running. So I kind of just do a combination of everything, if you guys are interested. So hopefully this was helpful, and I'm sure a lot of the stuff is controversial, especially when you get into talking about protein, you talk about bodybuilding and life longevity. So that part right there, and just in general, it's really what you want from your health, what you want from your longevity, and how you want to look today. We'll talk with you guys later on, and hopefully this was helpful. Thank you. Bye.